Technical specifications for the aid penalty Part 2. Adjudication process for aid orders. I want to spend some extra time discussing the aid orders. This is because there are many, and I mean many, Earth people who have verified aid orders pending against them. Some of them are quite old, perhaps from 50 or more years ago. First, it should be made clear that none of the enforcement or disciplinary activities of the legitimate hierarchies are designed to be retribution. No one is punished out of a sense of revenge. Punishments do exist, and people are punished, but only to the extent it is absolutely necessary. We have already discussed the definition of an aid order, so we have covered that it is a maximum penalty and that it is a significant event, which you definitely do not want to happen to you. Although many people may have aid orders against them, they are not all carried out. The automatic adjudication process gives everyone a chance to say something that will convince the adjudicator that they are not the same person as they were when they committed whatever offense they committed. Adjudicators confirm pending aid orders only when the person is totally unrepentant and shows no remorse for what he did and indicates that he would just as soon do it again and that he does not care about anyone or anything except his personal comforts. People who have had any change of consciousness between the time an aid order was placed against them and the time they were apprehended stand a good chance of having the order cancelled. Let's go through two examples to illustrate this concept. First, we will make up a story of a repentant person, and second, we will make up a story of a non-repentant person. Example number 1. Repentant. Say, some young nerd just fresh from college with his science degree happens to be with friends or whatever, and they go somewhere where a real spiritual master is giving a lecture. And, say, the nerd kid does not like what he hears and he jumps up and goes after the master babbling stuff like, "You're a fake. My science teacher covered all this stuff, and there is no such thing as a soul, and there is no God, and all you want is money." Attacking or attempting to attack a spiritual master carried an automatic aid penalty, so, when security throws the little brat out, he now has an aid command verified against him. Now, let's say time passes, and the brat has some experiences. Say, for example, he is in some kind of serious accident and finds himself outside of his body, and as a result he reevaluates his beliefs in scientific atheism and joins some mystic school and becomes a vegetarian, and all that good stuff. But then, by some chance, he encounters IGP and they notice the pending aid order, so they take the guy into custody and bring him to a disintegration center. Now, he's probably crazy with fear, because life is not the same to him now as it was 20 or whatever years ago. So, following standard procedure, the adjudicator comes in and tells him he has the right to make a statement if he feels that he is not the same person now as he was when he committed his offense. And, of course, the nerd would say he was sorry and that he even tried to apologize to the master, but forgot his name over the 20 years, but he knows how stupid he was then, and he is not that way now. The adjudicator is trained to read the Akashic files, but in this case, he can plainly see that it is written all over the kid's face that he is not an evil person, so he will cancel the aid, and the IGP will take the kid back to wherever they found him and let him go. Example number 2. Non-repentant. Now, let's consider the case of some intelligence operative who has many aides against him, who is brought in and again informed he may make a statement to the adjudicator. But he is intensely arrogant. He starts screaming that he is important and powerful and he is 00, so and so, with such and such government, and he has power and he has friends and he has a time machine and he can't be killed because his friends will go into the past with the time machine and pick him up before he was killed and take him to the future beyond where he was killed. And then he will come back with his spaceship of buddies and kill the adjudicator and bomb the IGC center and all that stuff. Well, clearly this is a non-repentant case. This is the class of person that aid was meant for, because there is no way to deal with him, and no way he will ever feel any remorse. He thinks he is God, and that he has so many tricks and powers and secret weapons that no one can touch him. And he is not likely to change his mind any time too soon. Consequently, the adjudicator will okay the aid order, and IGP will then escort the 00 fool to the disintegration machine. And, of course, what this grade A fool does not realize is that a time machine can't go places where there is no time, and there is no time in the netherworld zone between the universes, so his friends can look for him all they want, and they will not find him. However, they most likely have verified aid orders against them too, so they might meet again when IGP gets around to picking them up so that they can take the one-way trip to the disintegration machine too.